More nonsense EV FUD from Frunk Faces. Is Scotty Kilmer crazy or a liar? Well, I'll save you the clickbait. He's neither. He's an entertainer, and he's very entertaining, and I enjoy his channel. That's not what this video is about. I love me some Scotty, because he does all kinds of stuff, some good, some bad. Let's get into it. I'm Brian. Welcome to my Tesla weekend. So you might be watching this on Friday on the second channel, the long version, the half-hour guy. Or you could be watching it on the main channel. You know which one it is. If it's less than 30 minutes, main channel. You should check out the live one sometime. I know. You guys are all in here. You guys are all watching the live one. Great. So let's talk about it. A very real, definitely not astroturfed account suggested this video by Scotty explaining why EVs are doomed, specifically Tesla. And it's kind of interesting. It's got some interesting stuff going on. And it's had, 600,000 views over the last 5 days. So people are listening to this. But it's not true. It's not accurate. Let's explain that. By the way, let me know if you can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, if all that good stuff is working as it should.
So hop in and I'll show you if a gas-powered car, battery electric vehicle, or hybrid car will save you the most money overall. The answer may very well surprise you, because not many people compare them by the calculations I'll show you today.
Well, the reason is, his calculations are dishonest, manipulated, incomplete. Let's say that they're incomplete. How so?
So we don't want to compare apples to oranges. So let's keep this simple. We'll compare the cost to drive 300 miles in a battery electric vehicle.
Too simple. We're going to keep it too simple.
Versus a hybrid versus a gas-powered car. For the battery electric vehicle, let's look at the cost to drive 300 miles in a Tesla Model Y long range, the 5-seater. I'm benchmarking the Model Y to represent a typical battery electric vehicle, since it's the most popular battery electric crossover right now in America. Well, the Tesla battery size is 82 kilowatt.
Is it though? Is it? Because right there, let's take a look. Oh, look at this. This is saying it's 74. Well, what's the discrepancy there? How'd we get off by 10% so quickly? Well, the answer is it does have an 82 kilowatt hour pack, but it's actually only 74 to 75 is what I've seen in terms of a usable battery. So if you were to run it to zero and juice it back up, it would not take 82 kilowatt hours. It would take 75. So right out of the gate, these numbers are going to be skewed by 10%. Okay.
So let's assume you live in New York and the average electricity cost is 24.9 cents per kilowatt hour. So
why would we do that? Why would we assume that when the average price nationwide is 16 cents? Is it because New York is one of the most expensive cities? That doesn't seem like a very reasonable or fair way to do it. Scotty lives in Tennessee. Let's take a look at Tennessee's rates. Elemento, Tennessee, he's paying 11 cents. So that 10% we were already off. We can cut that in half again. We're really far off. And then, of course, there's time of use pricing, which in a lot of places can get you down to off-peak rates of like 7 cents. So we're off by fourfold. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Why would you do that?
The bottom line is, for 20 bucks you pay to fully charge your car, it'll take you 300 miles.
So we know this isn't true. He knows it isn't true because he owns a Model 3. And he knows it costs about $6 to juice it up. So I'm just puzzled. The problem isn't that he's saying this. The problem is that people are listening to this.
By side. At first glance.
Let's try that again.
So here's again, side by side. At first glance.
Very fast.
So here's again, side by side. At first glance.
That was very fast. Let's stop it.
Here's again.
There we go. So he's saying 5,600 versus 9,600 versus 15 grand. But that 5,600 isn't accurate. It's more like a quarter of that. It's more like under 2 grand. So So the hybrid is going to have a disadvantage of about 7,500, and the gas-powered is going to have a disadvantage of about, what would that be? Another, what did I say, 4,000 on top? So another 18, 19,000. That makes them a lot less compelling. That would make these interesting, to say the least.
Many people jump to the conclusion that the Tesla's a better value. But hold your horses here. You need to factor in the total cost of ownership in those 6 years. And that should include the purchase price, too. When you factor that in, you get a bigger picture.
Not a big enough picture. If all you're counting is the purchase price and the energy, you're leaving some stuff out. Because EVs cost 40% less to maintain. Just looking at Toyota's website, they recommend service every 6 months or 5,000 miles. So at a minimum over those 6 years, you're talking 11 service visits. That gets expensive. That's a lot of oil changes. That's a lot of... And if let's look at Arlington Toyota. They're saying the same thing, every 5,000 miles or 6 months. There's different ones at different mileage points. There's a lot of maintenance that goes into gas cars, and this is also true of hybrid cars.
The MSRP on the current Tesla Model Y long-range 5-seater is $65,990. But remember, you have to buy the wall connector and mobile connector. That adds another $1,000.
Does it? Because I'm not sure it does, but okay.
So let's be real. Most people who buy a Tesla buy the optional full drive features, which cost an additional $12,000.
Most people. And by the way, 12,000, it's 15,000. This video is only 5 days old. So the research here is not super great. It's kind of free-balling it with the going fast and loose, but survey reveals Tesla FSD take rate is declining. Only about 11% have been equipped with it. Now, we don't have hard numbers, but we know it's not most. That would show up in the financials. That's most. And by the way, you don't have to buy it. It's optional. There's only 3 options when you order your car, really. I mean, I guess you get to pick your seats, but wheels, color, do you want the FSD package? Jeff points out, some people say. Boy, that does a lot of heavy lifting, doesn't it?
So realistic purchase price plus the estimated charging cost, we calculate means you put down $84,590.
That is a lot. And I'll tell you right off the bat, $65,990 is too much money. But we'll probably see that going down soon as the backlog gets worked out. Oh yeah, you can get a tow hitch, that's true. We'll see that go down. But you don't have to get that. That makes it a very special car.
Let's look at the 6-year total cost of ownership of a 2022 RAV4 Hybrid SE. MSRP on the $32,230.
What? So, a bunch of problems here. We're talking base price. The base of the base of the base. And you're comparing it with a premium car. So, let's look not at the base car, but let's look at something that's a little bit more comparably equipped. The Limited. It's got the panoramic glass. And then, of course, we have to add the tech package because a Tesla is going to have more tech than what's offered here. And the integrated dash cam because, Sentry mode. And then the delivery, $43,805. So we're coming out 11,000 over the number that he suggested. Because remember, a base Tesla, has premium sound, has all the safety stuff. It has forward collision protection. It has everything. It has so much built in and included. And he's saying the MSRP, and ain't nobody paying the MSRP. Normally, dealers manage to get 2 to 5% over MSRP. Currently, it's more like 10% over MSRP. And that's tough. That adds another $4,000 to your purchase price. So that $32,000 car he was suggesting is more like $43,000 plus another 4%, $4,000, 10%. So we're at $48,000 plus the loss on fuel charging. Even on the hybrid, we're getting up there.
So with the estimated gas cost over 6 years, that means $41,839.
Yeah, problematic.
The 2022 gas-powered Toyota RAV4 is $26,975. So total cost to operate it over 6 years is $41,627.
Again, look at all these options. You got the LE, the hybrid, the XLE premium, all this stuff, all these different prices. Let's just look at this guy, the Limited. Is that what I was looking at? RAV4 Limited. $41,000 is the base. That's the base. And then, of course, you have to add your premium technology and your integrated dash cam delivery. 42 grand. We're at 42 grand. So the gas and the hybrid are pretty close in price because you got to get your panoramic glass. You got to get, traction, all your goodies. You got to get your goodies so they're at least remotely comparably equipped.
When you put it all together, the hybrid and gas-powered RAV4 are nearly neck to neck during 6 years of ownership.
That is a little concerning to me. Those numbers, I believe. When he's comparing the RAV4 hybrid to the RAV4 gas, I believe that. I think that is an apples-to-apples comparison. But the fact that the hybrid isn't saving you money should concerns me.
It's also clear that the Tesla is the worst value. After 6 years of ownership, you'll have to spend nearly double the price of either the hybrid or gas car, and you're extremely far away from coming close to even breaking even on energy cost savings.
Yeah, but it's more than that, isn't it? Model 3 on pace to have the best resale value of any car ever tested. So if we're only talking 6 years, sell the car, the resale value matters. Getting your money back matters. That 10% dealer markup you're paying, that's not factored into your resale value. The high resale, which Toyota enjoys, Toyota is consistently among the best for resale value. If you're paying that dealer markup, that's not factored in. That money is just gone.
Now, if your priority is to save money and get the best value, it certainly isn't the Tesla.
So, isn't it? I mean, it depends. If you bought a Toyota 3 years ago, you could probably sell it today for what you paid. If you bought a Tesla 3 years ago, you could probably sell it for more.
In my opinion, Tesla is not even a luxury car.
So this I take issue with for a couple of reasons. First of all, he owns one, and I've watched the video about it, and he enjoys it. He says the ride is smooth and quiet and powerful. But is Tesla considered a luxury car? Well, this guy, this insurance agent, believes so because of all the autopilot and the streaming services and the air suspension for models that have it, advanced parking sensors, all that stuff. But really, it's, I would argue, not a luxury car. It is a premium car. And the difference between premium and luxury is just fancy, where premium requires, although often used interchangeably, there's a subtle difference. Premium brands have a higher price than most of the alternatives. Therefore, to justify their purchase price, consumers must see value in the higher cost. Now that Rolex we're looking at there, that's thousands. Even if it's the stainless steel, you're talking thousands of dollars. And you can get a timepiece for $3 that keeps just as accurate, maybe even more accurate time. Or you could get a $400 Apple Watch. Why would you spend $400? Well, first of all, because you could get 20 or 30 Rolexes, or 20 or 30 of them for the price of a Rolex, but also because it does stuff. It does stuff that your $3 phone, $3 watch does not.
On the other hand, if you want to buy an electric vehicle to save the planet, are you ready to cope with range anxiety and how it impacts you emotionally?
How is it going to impact me emotionally? That's interesting, I guess, is what I would say.
Look, the average American keeps their car for 12 years.
Where do you get this stuff? Now, I don't understand the motivation. You want clicks, of course, but this is demonstrably false. Americans own their longest kept cars for an average of about 8 years. Their longest kept car, 8 years, 64% have only owned their current cars for 5 years or less. 80%, yeah. So people don't 12 years would mean that the average human only has 4 cars in their lifetime, and that half of people have fewer than that. That's a head scratcher. That's a head scratcher.
If you're wondering why I use 6 years as a reference in this exercise, the reason is after 12 years, I'm not sure how much your Tesla EV battery will degrade.
I can help you with that because there's a warranty. The shortest warranty they have is 8-year, 100,000 mile. It's the shortest one. They also have the 120,000 on most of the cars they sell and 150,000 on the S and X. 70%. That's what you're definitely going to have. If you have anything under that, you get a new battery. And then you get another 8 years out of it. And you get the latest and greatest. So that's crazy. I believe him when he says he doesn't know what the battery is after 6 years, but it is known. The battery tech has gotten really good. It's gotten really good.
Apple doesn't let you swap the SSD in your iPhone. Instead, you have to buy another phone. And that's what Apple does to users despite the cost because they're married to the Apple ecosystem. Same thing with Tesla. If you already have a Tesla now, or you get one soon, chances are you'll upgrade to a newer Tesla thereafter in the future because you'll be tied to Tesla's ecosystem.
So a quick primer on what the ecosystem is. What is an Apple ecosystem? It's all your stuff working together. It's your phone and your watch and your earpods and your everything, your mat, your all of it. It all works together, but it's more than that. It's your Apple Pay, it's your password management, it's everything. It's the music you've purchased, it's everything. Tesla doesn't really have that. Their ecosystem is a car and a charging network, but the charging network is being opened to other cars, and your car can charge on other networks. So maybe he's saying, let's be charitable, maybe he's saying the cars are so good, you're definitely going to buy another one, because the owner loyalty is very high.
If you believe that gasoline prices will continue to rise, try the simple math exercise we just did today. But try it when gas prices go up to $10 a gallon. But remember, when gas reaches that high one day, the cost of electricity will too, so it'll cost you more to juice up your EV.
What? My electricity cost is unaffected by foreign wars. OPEC doesn't have an impact on what I'm paying to run my lights. And in fact, if you look at the national averages, you can see it's not really connected. You can see that even in San Francisco, where it has gone up, it's not really tied to the gas prices. At this point, let's look at Boston. You can see gas prices were coming down when electric was going up. Gas prices were going up when electric was going down. There isn't a strong correlation there. And it's a much more gradual sort of thing. And the new generation we're seeing is from wind and solar, which is quite affordable.
Now, all jokes aside, I'm not trying to bash Tesla. I'm just trying to shed light on where the battery electric vehicle industry is right now. If you haven't seen my video on why you shouldn't buy a Tesla, check it out.
Aha. And that gets to the root of it. Scotty's not a bad guy. He's not a true FUDster. He owns a Tesla. Or 2 or 3. I don't remember now. And he likes sensational stuff. The truth with a fire. Rest in peace. 2 months ago. Tesla's doomed. Tesla may be going bust. It's entertainment for entertainment's sake. But the problem is the people who really hate the company, especially those who do so irrationally, look at these videos, pick the ones they like, and go with it. And the more negative it is, truth. There was a good one I saw. 92,549 deaths. No one is talking about electric car deaths, so I have to. I'm not clicking on that. That's clickbait. Here's why electric cars are a scam. So,
Well, between now and then, the only realistically affordable option for the average American consumer is either a conventional car or hybrid, and certainly not a battery electric car.
So this is also not accurate. Tesla is very expensive. I'll be the first to complain about that. But the Bolt is quite cheap. And it is, by all accounts, capable. Not the old Fuego version, the newer ones. And there are a lot of affordable electric cars. The EUV is a small, tall crossover. And then you've got the Nissan Leaf, and then you've got, pay no mind to that joke. But there's a bunch of them. The Hyundai Kona, $35,000. It's not unreasonable. And next year we're going to start seeing EV incentives on a variety of vehicles. So I would disagree with the conclusion that there are no affordable EVs. That's my take.
Now, Toyota's been quite conservative about electrifying their cars. You could say they're not conforming with most of the car industry. Now, they're not totally against battery electric vehicles either. They're just not full on in the battery electric technology bandwagon.
So interestingly, Toyota, since this video came out, has pulled a 180 on its weak EV strategy. So they were going to get to 30% by 2035. And now it looks like they're going to invest $70 billion to get to half in 2030, in 9 years. So 2031-ish, 2030, 2031. So Toyota has had a change of heart, and well, they should. I'm just going to, let's see what
In
this
the
one
long
is.
run, though, they said that their goal is for battery electric cars to make up more than 30% of total sales from Toyota and Lexus combined.
And that's been revised. That's been revised. And it's because California is banning internal combustion for light-duty vehicles. You can still get a dump truck after 2035, but no new gas-powered cars. New York, same thing. Washington, same thing. The entirety of the European Union, same thing. Toyota knows this is happening, and they have to. They're going to have to make affordable, compelling cars if they wish to survive, because their competitors are already doing it. So that's kind of fun. So we got through it. We made it. Thanks to my patrons, as always, who keep the channel going. Let's talk about your comments. Let's go with, let's end this poll. See how we did. So I did see a question earlier, who's paying him? And I believe the answer is nobody. I believe the answer is YouTube is paying him, because he's not consistently against Tesla or electric vehicles. He has a number of videos where he's in favor of them. As JJ pointed out, he's made videos in favor of hydrogen, but he's also in favor of, Scotty is a clickbait champ who knows his stuff on ICE cars, but apparently discovered he could get more clicks with EVs, and he just doesn't care that he's misleading. Yeah. So Joe Justice must have got through to the giant Yoda. Yeah, maybe. Because, or the bean counters did, because it's a lot of beans to count. Clickbait is a strategy. He gets millions of views. Just this video that we just analyzed, 600,000 views. I get something like less than 1 million views per year. And I'm making hundreds of videos. But I don't want to sell my soul. And I don't think he's selling his soul. I think he's being an entertainer. And everybody can find something they like. And he is entertaining. He is a hoot. But that video is bad. Jude says, I do click on him on occasion. It's the everybody knows version. If I wasn't financially comfortable, I would consider a Bolt. Yeah, it's not an exciting car, but it's capable. The Hyundai Kona doesn't have the same kind of fan club you'll see for the Mach-E or the Lightning or the Tesla, but it's a capable car. The ID4, Sandy Monroe, not a fan of that. So you're becoming an entertainment critic. If your entertainment is distorting facts to support a narrative, then I have to. I'm not going to attack him for being a moron, because he's not. He's a sharp guy. I like him. But that entertainment serves to harm public discourse, and I don't care for that. I can make my own electricity, but I can never make gasoline or diesel. I mean, technically you could grow your own biodiesel, but that's a lot of work. More energy storage means less use of peaker plants, which means less cost per kilowatt hour. Yeah. Maybe he's terribly misunderstood. That's possible. The X app has a lot of potential. I assume this is in regards to Apple's ecosystem. It does, but that's pretty far on the horizon. And his complaint was more about that you can't upgrade the battery in the future. And it would be neat if you could do that. If you could take in your very old Model 3 and get a 4680 pack for it. That'd be cool. But I just don't see that happening. And a comment I saw earlier was, what's the lifespan of your car once it hits 100,000 miles? How much engine life is left? And 100,000 is still a psychological barrier in terms of used car buyers. You know what is a true value? A new Bolt EV. And it's only going to get cheaper. A car drives 13,000 miles a year. So I've seen different numbers. I've seen anything as low as 8 and anything as high as 15. I don't take issue with that. That was my consideration, was it's in the range. If it goes up a little or down a little, it's not really going to make a big difference. Could it be Satan or just Toyota? What gas price does he use? Someone else, Brian, did comment. He used $5. He went nice and high on the gas price because he knows we're in winter gas pricing right now, and then in the summer it's going to go back up. And there's no real reason to think it's going to be substantially cheaper in the future. So it could be that. 30 mile per gallon car will cost $2,100 a year at $5 a gallon. Yeah. Oh, that range anxiety. Well, it's not nothing. I won't discount that, but it's not going to cause me emotional distress. I guess I think I'm tougher than that. I'm okay. Jeff is the average American. I think that's, in many ways, yeah. There are a couple ways where you might be a little above that, but maybe 12 years is the average time a car is in service. That would make sense, but that would be across multiple buyers. So you'd have to consider all the trade-ins and markups and resales and all that. Yeah. Greenpad says resale value for ICE is going to get scary fast. We may hit that cliff. That's something that is being discussed, that there's a very, very much a non-zero chance that we will reach a point where it gets difficult to resell gasoline cars at a reasonable percentage of what you paid. California's leading the way. Yeah. Toyota, if the wheels stay on, yeah, they'll get that sorted out. It's very unusual for Toyota to have quality issues of the magnitude that they did with the buzz forks. It's possible to know each and every person who quietly watched his videos alone in their living room and then decided not to buy a Tesla. Yeah, it's some. The answer is 600,000, 700,000 people have watched it. Someone watched it and said, you know what? He's right. I'm going to buy a hybrid. David had range anxiety the first few months he owned his Model Y, but quickly got over it. Jeff never ran out of electricity in 9 years of driving electric. And Jeff used to have a Leaf, an early Leaf. My 24 kilowatt hour battery Leaf has really about 30 to 35 miles of real world range. I do get range anxiety. I would too. My 2008 Zen Electric had a stated range of 25 miles, but the longest I ever got on brand new deep cycle marine batteries was 8 miles, and it was getting real scary at the end. Never went that far again. Car only had a few thousand miles on it when I sold it, because where are you going to go? 12 years is the estimated fleet rotation for all. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. And again, I don't dislike him. I dislike the message. The messenger, I think, is a very fun guy. He's very successful, and I appreciate that. I'm jealous for sure. I do not aspire to have 5 million subscribers. I'd love to, but I'm kind of too niche for that. Revoke the First Amendment to prevent this stupidity. No, because then I'd be on the block next. All right, so what did I miss or misunderstand? Because it's 7:30. Leave me all your thoughts in them comments below. Stay tuned, stay juicy, all that good stuff. And I can't wait to hear from you clever robots on the flippity flop.